In this lecture, we are going to generate tests with Claude Code. From here on forward, things are going to be way more hands-on. More specifically, let's look at what we are going to cover. The first thing we'll do is look at a few important resources to make sure we get your Claude Code set up if you haven't done so already. Then we'll do a quick recap on the three-step pattern. Then we'll do a live demo where we'll generate a jest suite for process order items using the three-step pattern. I'll show you how that code looks in a minute. First up, important resources. You'll find links to all of these resources in the resources section of this lecture. The first one there, Claude Code login and sign up. The second one, a guide on how to install Claude Code CLI. So importantly, Claude Code is somewhat different than the other coding assistants, where it's a CLI first coding assistant. So if you like working in the terminal, you're going to love Claude Code. But the good news is if you prefer a chat interface, Claude Code also provides IDE extensions that actually gives you a similar experience to Cursor and GitHub Copilot, for example. I've added a link to the Claude Code extension for VS Code, as well as a Claude Code plugin for the JetBrains IDEs. And then if you don't have an IDE yet, you can either download VS Code or IntelliJ. I'm going to use VS Code specifically, so if you want to follow along exactly what I'm doing, I would recommend downloading VS Code and also installing the VS Code extension for Claude Code. Next up, let's do a quick recap on the three-step pattern. The first step is context priming. Here we're going to give the AI everything it needs before we are actually going to ask it to generate tests for us. So typically here we'll give it all the files that it needs to look at, where the functions are that we want tests to be generated for, and any other files that it depends on, such as constants or enums and so forth. Step 2, I used to call this inline generation, but for Claude Code, I actually want to call it initial generation. And the reason is because we're working in the terminal, we don't have inline generation. This should really be called initial generation, because this is where you trigger the assistant to give you a first draft test suite. And then step 3, chat refinement. Here we iterate with follow-up prompts to improve the quality of our generated test suite. Okay, so now that we have a recap of the three-step pattern, we are actually going to practically apply it when we generate a test suite for process order items. So here we have the process order items function with two parameters, an items parameter, which is of type order items array, and then a discount parameter that is an optional parameter with a default value of null. And then importantly, it returns the process order object. So here's the path to the actual code. You'll also find the code downloadable in the resources section of this lecture. Now let's go ahead and open up this function in our IDEs. In your IDE, go to section 3, lecture 9, start, and then under source you'll find orders, and then process order items. And then on line 44, you'll find process order items. And if we scroll through it, you'll see that it's quite comprehensive. And this is deliberate because I didn't want to give you a function that is so simple that you find it hard to translate to your production code. And secondly, we want to generate tests that are quite comprehensive. So let's quickly look at the description of the function and the rules. So the purpose of this function is to process an array of order items. That is the first parameter there. And then apply an optional discount code. So if none is passed, it will be null and we won't have a discount code, else we'll use that in determining the discount. So the first rule, all item quantities must be greater than 1, else throw an invalid quantity error. That is that part of the code. And then if a discount code is provided and expired, throw the expired discount code error. Again, there we have the code for that. And then if a discount code has a minimum order value, the subtotal before discount must meet it, else throw the minimum order not met error. And again, you can find the code there. The next rule is if a discount code has an applicable category, it only applies to items in those categories. So you'll find this part here where we do the category match. And then we've got percentage discounts applied per qualifying item. For example, 10% off reduces the unit price by 10%. Fixed discounts are applied proportionally across qualifying items by their share of the subtotal. And finally, prices are rounded to 2 decimal places. So if we go down here, you'll see that we have these calculations where we're working out the discounted amount. And then we are also rounding it to 2 decimal places to ultimately calculate our discount total. So now you have it. This is our process order items. And the next step for us is to actually generate a test suite for it. We are now going to practically apply the 3-step pattern to generate our test suite. The first thing we need to do there is to start a Claude Code session in the correct lecture directory. So we'll change directory to our lecture 9 start directory, and then we'll invoke Claude to start a new Claude Code session. Let's go ahead and do that. You can hold down Control and press backstroke to open up your terminal, or you can go to terminal and then click on new terminal. So let's go ahead and change directory to section 3, lecture 9, and then start. So if we invoke Claude here, it'll know that we're looking at the files within the lecture 9 start context. The first thing it's going to ask us is to select our theme. I like the dark mode, so I'm going to select that, and then select your login method. So I've got a Claude account with subscription, so that's the option I'm going to use. It'll then ask you to log in if you haven't logged in yet, but once you log in, it will basically ask you to authorize the Claude Code session. And then once it gives you this message, you can go back to your IDE and then press continue. Press enter again to continue. And then I'm going to select the recommended settings for the Claude Code terminal setup. Okay, so if you've done that, you've just started a new Claude Code session. So here you'll see that I'm using Opus 4.8, which is quite a powerful model at the time of the recording. But if you want to change that and possibly save some tokens, go to /model, and then you can select, for example, the default model, Sonnet 4.6, or you can go to Haiku as an older model. I'm going to stay with Opus, and then we are ready to prime our context. So a good context priming prompt is one like this, where we say, I need you to read, and then we provided the process order items file and the order item and discount code types in the order.ts file. Then generate. So we're not yet generating, we are just priming the context. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that part. Go ahead and paste it in here, and then we can go ahead and look at how the @ command works. So if we just take this out for a minute and you type @ you'll see that you can now pick the file that you want to add in the context. So we want the order.ts file. Okay, so now that we have primed the context, let's go to step 2 in our 3-step pattern. For step 2, we are going to do the initial generation. So importantly, use a specific prompt. Don't say things like write some tests or write some unit tests. You want to tell it what it should really do. So that part we've just done, the context priming, but then we tell it to generate a complete jest test suite. So what is the type of test suite for process order items covering the following scenarios? The happy path, the edge cases including null and empty input, and all error conditions defined in the function. So if we just say, write some tests, it would probably stick to the happy path only. And we also tell it to use jest29 as our framework and arrange act assert as our pattern. So go ahead and copy that part, and let's paste it there, paste again to see it. And I just want to add a comma there. Okay, And then you can go ahead and hit enter, and then Claude Code is going to generate your test suite. So you can see there that it's actually read the two files that we specified in the context priming. It's going to ask me if I give it permission to do so. So let me just maximize for now. It's asking save file to continue. Yes. And then it's actually going to ask me run the new test suite. So it's already done. Before we run it, let's quickly go ahead and look at what it created. So it created this tests directory, and then the orders directory, and then process order items.test.ts. So if we just close the terminal for now, then we can look at what we've got here. So we've got the test fixtures. Then we have the happy path with all of the happy path test scenarios. Notice arrange, act, assert everywhere, arranging, invoking the actual function, and then doing the verification in the assert. And if we scroll down, the edge cases, null and empty inputs, and then the error conditions, and there we have it. So if we open up our terminals again and maximize, let's give it permission to run the test suite. And there it says all 18 tests pass. We can read through the coverage. So all the tests pass, happy path, no discount code, correct subtotal, percentage discount across all items, fixed discount split proportionally, category restricted discount, expires at null, never expires, and the fixture expires at 2 decimal rounding, the edge cases, the error conditions, and then ordering boundary behavior worth flagging. The function checks rules in a specific order, so I pinned that down. So as you can see, we have now successfully generated our first test suite. The next step is step 3. And here we actually need to go ahead and look at the tests to see what we can refine. So that was only our first draft test that's been generated, but now we want to make sure we actually improve that. So we've got some examples here. The test suite is missing a test for an expired discount code. So that might not be true. Let's just see. We can look at expired discount code. So we do have that in the error conditions. So we're definitely not missing that here. So we actually need to really go through all of the tests to know what to refine. The assertion on the subtotal field uses a hard-coded number. Rewrite it to calculate the expected value from the input data. So let's see the assertion on the subtotal field. And that's true. It uses a hard-coded value. So we can actually use that. So I'm going to copy that. And let's give that to Claude. Again, I'm going to maximize my terminal window to see what's happening. And basically, it's got the expected subtotal, and then it changes it there. And I'm going to say yes. And it's got a few other more places. So let's just go ahead and say yes. And yes. So you also see the code output here in the terminal, which is convenient because you might actually just open an external terminal instead of working directly in your IDE. So now let me confirm the test will pass. Ran one shell command, done. Both subtotal assertions now derive the expected value from the input items array using the same unit price times quantity reduction the function uses instead of hard-coded 25. All 18 tests still pass. So we have now used the 3-step pattern to successfully generate our first draft test suite and to refine it by making it more robust.